Hello, my name is Nermina Suljević. I work at the city of Sarajevo, and together with my colleague Leila from the city of Sarajevo and Belma from Sevda, I'm working on the project of urban garden and the sensory park in Sarajevo, which is the example of co-production case for nature-based solution. So first of all, let me introduce you to our little project. So it is urban garden. We had a task to recommend one idea where we implemented nature-based solutions in Sarajevo, and we came up with the idea to have the first urban garden in Sarajevo. When we were looking for location, the perfect location for this garden was the yard of the school for children with intellectual disabilities. So that was the reason why we included the sensory elements in this garden. Our ambition was to create a sustainable model of the green garden, to encourage community engagement, to be a catalyst of intergenerational exchange and cooperation, since here at this garden, even though it will be open for all citizens, it will be especially focused for the children with special needs and also elderly people. But also our ambition is to provide a place for learning, both formal and informal. So the co-production elements were very strong in this project. This provided us with the legitimacy of the process and also ensured that we can mobilize and empower local actors, and it helped us to include all relevant stakeholders in the process while using innovative and inclusive approach for better engagement of stakeholders. So here you can see all the stakeholders that we included in this project. So how we did it. So we included them from the first stage of even designing this urban garden. First of all, we invited all of them to be part of public consultations where they could share their vision of the urban garden. We also used memory work, which is only one part of Sarajevo process. So memory work is actually when we use the memories of the past in order to inspire visioning of the future. So this exercise was perfect for our public consultations, where we had elderly people from the Center for Healthy Aging, where they shared their photos from the time when they felt connected with nature, and they shared their reflections on these photos, and the whole audience could use their experience in order to inspire themselves for visioning of our urban garden. We also at the public consultations had representatives of municipality, of the city, also had UNDP with their innovative approaches for these kind of projects, also NGOs, SMEs, academia and experts. We had one expert who is specially trained for the hortitherapy, so how the dealing with plants actually affects our health, which is especially important for this target group for children with intellectual disabilities, since this park will also be used for these purposes for the teachers in this school to use the garden in order to work with these children and to improve their skills and knowledge. We had also some barriers in our co-production process. One of those barriers is general lack of knowledge on NBS in our state, and we are working on raising awareness about NBS. Also, low initial interest of some stakeholders. It was also a challenge, but the biggest challenge of all was how to coordinate different stakeholder groups. So how to coordinate all those that we mentioned on the previous slide, because you have a private sector and public sector and academia and NGOs, and needed to find a special approach for each of them, but also to gather them all together for the one purpose and to have a good quality urban garden, which could be a good role model and be replicated in other parts of the city and in our state as well. This co-production model can be very well used also in the future. It can also be used not only in this project, but also in other similar projects. We found it to be a great tool for reflections, for opinions and exchange. The special tool for co-production that we use with this urban lab or these public consultations, when we had all participants, all representatives of our stakeholders being in one place and sharing their vision of our urban garden. In this picture you can see we had the pins, the pictures, and the big canvas with this space. And we can all dream about this garden and what we want it to be. So we had a really strong co-production where we had all different stakeholders being part of the designing stage of the urban garden itself. And we will use this approach in other stages. We will call all the stakeholders. We will invite them to give their comments when we had the first design of the garden, and also before we start the implementation. All throughout the implementation, we will try to keep this co-production element and to have all stakeholders having their say in design of the first urban garden with sensory elements in Sarajevo. Thank you very much.